Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Online Creators Association's Thursday night stream. I'm TX Watson. You guys want to introduce yourself? I'll probably start doing that because sometimes people watch who are not our regulars.
What? Okay, my name is Cecelia, and I'm not going to give you my last name, but you can probably guess what it is based on my username on TikTok.
I'm Micah. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
And I can tell everybody on the internet my whole name because I haven't told the government. So,
so proud of you.
You can't dox me with it.
It's like Amelia and I say, we're just trying to make it easy for everyone who's trying to dox us. We don't want to put any buffers around that. Just go crazy, guys. And for everybody on TikTok, hello. Welcome to the semi-weekly me completely ignoring you for a full hour. If you want to see what's going on, I have our Twitch channel up above me, so come and join us over on Twitch.
And for the folks watching on the official Toga TikTok account, what Cecelia said.
Thanks.
If you come over to Twitch, you'll also be able to see Cecelia not talking to the TikTok chat.
Or if you go over to my TikTok live, you'll see me ignoring you in real time with probably terrible audio. I've never actually asked anyone how the audio sounds on here. I'm guessing it's bad.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Audio? What's that?
I stand by Crutches and Spice, Imani Babaran's assertion that people with disabilities make the best jokes.
Because we can bully ourselves better than everybody else can bully us.
Hello, Michael. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you can hear the stream. My audio was acting weird on Discord, and I'm now like suddenly concerned about the audio quality. We're fine. It doesn't matter all that much. My phone that I'm worried about. Anyway, you want to talk about some Russian misinformation this evening?
Sure. That sounds like a fun and light time.
It's such a fun light time. I'm going to close the door because I forgot my partner has a game and that they are the loudest person in the universe.
Also, happy Purim to anybody that's here.
Happy Purim! And to the entire New York City metropolitan area, happy combined Purim and St. Patrick's Day. Half the city's population is getting very drunk and having a very good time, and I'm happy for all of them.
Listen, I'm joining a little bit.
A little bit.
And this isn't where I am, but I do feel like I should say, and to Boston, don't drive tonight.
Oh, God.
The entire city of Boston, please.
There's a reason that I'm on stream and not outside. I'm sure the MBTA is an absolute shit show, and I don't want to deal with it.
All right. So, we did sort of have like two things happen in tandem this past week, which was one, a report came out from Abby Richards, who I am so grateful for every day. But Abby is Tofology on TikTok, about the presence of what appears to be like a coordinated Russian government misinformation campaign that happened on TikTok, pre-TikTok just turning off Russia's access to TikTok. Combined with and I was like hearing about these stories within hours of each other, combined with the Biden administration inviting a bunch of prominent TikTokers who were there with the organization Gen Z for Change to give them a briefing on the Russia-Ukraine situation. The amount of state actors that are like involved in TikTok now is a little bit strange, but we're going to sit here and break down at least this first thing. There it is. I had to make it larger. And also, I just want to, again, the reason I'm so happy that Abby exists is that one, she takes TikTok seriously in that it is a large cultural force, not necessarily that it needs to be taken seriously all of the time, because it's primarily a nonsense app, but that there is real misinformation being spread here. People are using this as a way of getting information. And when that is happening on an app that is as poorly moderated as TikTok, bad things can occur. The other reason I'm happy is that Abby is an actual TikTok user and is putting this stuff out in real time much faster than probably most news organizations would be able to get the story together. The problem with like a lot of research on TikTok and a lot of reporting on TikTok is like by the time the news comes out, it's already passed. We're like weeks past. The cycle is gone. We've forgotten about it. And it's just the nature of like, yeah, somebody has to edit this. Someone has to approve the existence of the story. Somebody has to like get this published. So this is enjoying the fact that there are, and Abby's not the only one, but you know, there are TikTok users out there that can do this kind of reporting in real time. All of that being said, Watson, would you like to begin going through this?
Yeah. So TikTok's algorithm and its popular feature that allows people to reuse audio from any video are enabling the spread of misinformation in the midst of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The video sharing platform is currently flooded with raw footage of the conflict without any verification of its accuracy. Videos of missile strikes, explosions, and gunfire exchanges are garnering millions of views, even though some contain older footage unrelated to this conflict or videos manipulated through audio to capitalize on an anxious audience.
Watson, this is an excellent article that Abby also wrote, but Abby wrote another one because things are even crazier than this.
Cool. Give me a minute.
Yeah, it's okay. But this is also another, the fact that there's multiple and that we can mix them up is so depressing.
Yeah, they use the same header image.
I believe Abby said that she made that on Canva and she was like, I'm just going to use it again.
You know what?
Thanks for adding that, because I was about to say that. I'm sure that's not Abby's fault.
No, it's completely Abby's fault.
A pro-Russia propaganda campaign. Thank you, because I was wondering when it was going to get to the part that was relevant to the conversation we wanted to have.
Yeah.
A pro-Russia propaganda campaign is using over 180 TikTok influencers to promote the invasion of Ukraine. Over 180 Russian influencers on TikTok are involved in a seemingly concerted propaganda campaign using the caption Russian Lives Matter and participating in a combination of 3 trends that promote online support for Russia's war in Ukraine. A Media Matters review of videos posted between March 4th and March 8th that use the caption Russian Lives Matter #RLM identified 197 videos from 186 accounts, 12 of which are verified on TikTok. Our review found that a number of the videos had identical captions and in-video text, suggesting that they were the result of some degree of organization. The video content took a favorable pro-Russian stance regarding the war effort. If these posts were coordinated, it would suggest that they are trying to influence conversations about the war among English and Russian-speaking audiences on TikTok. Similar influencer coordination was uncovered in a recent Vice report. The 3 trends include influencers kneeling with a sign that says Russian Lives Matter, a dance centered around forming the letter Z with hands, and a meme claiming real women support the war in Ukraine that also features users making the Z hand symbol. This aligns with the Russian government's use of the letter Z as a symbol to rally citizens around the war in Ukraine. Of the 197 videos reviewed by Media Matters, 180, or 91%, were uploaded between March 5th and 6th. Notably, many of the larger influencers involved in this campaign do not appear to be particularly political in their daily content. For instance, one user is a beauty influencer with 3 million followers. Another account with 1.8 million followers makes comedy sketches, while another creates prank videos for its 3.2 million followers. It is already improbable that 186 Russian influencers would organically participate in one of these trends with nearly identical videos, using identical on-screen text, English language posters, identical captions, and an identical hashtag, all within a matter of 2 days. But the users' typos in particular suggest some level of organization behind these trends. Several users' captions included Russian language instructions ahead of the Russian Lives Matter hashtag RLM caption. Sloppy copy-pastes also seem to have resulted in some users' captions featuring words like description or video description, as in the description for the video, i.e. caption. With one user's Russian caption translating to, "You can publish description, Russian Lives Matter, hashtag RLM."
It's so sloppy. It's so messy. It's funny in how sloppy it is. Anyway.
The videos with this caption largely centered on 3 specific trends. 1, Russian Lives Matter. In this trend, which is set to a popular TikTok audio featuring the Russian folk song Katyusha, influencers begin by kneeling on one knee. They hold a sign that reads, "Russophobia, Donbass, hate speech, canceling, Lushansk, sanctions, InfoWars, nationalism." As the beat drops, the influencer stands up and reveals the back of their sign, which reads, "Russian Lives Matter." This imagery combined with a colorful, oversaturated video effect. Media Matters identified 20 videos following this trend, 8 of which were posted by verified accounts. In each video, the influencers' posts featured identical English language phrases on the front, Russian Lives Matter on the back, and Russian Lives Matter hashtag RLM as the video caption. This trend appropriates the language of Black Lives Matter, of the Black Lives Matter racial justice movement in an attempt to enforce a narrative of Russian victimization, or as the sign claims, Russophobia. In recent weeks, Russian President Vladimir Putin has baselessly claimed that genocide was being committed against Russian-speaking people in the Donbass region of Ukraine, using the talking point to justify his invasion. Putin's narrative of Russia as the subject of aggression rather than the aggressor is echoed in this trend. Trend 2, the Z dance. The second trend uses a popular existing TikTok dance to audio featuring the song Swang by Ray Sremmerd. The choreography has changed slightly to incorporate a Z hand sign on 2 occasions. By combining this previously popular trend with a symbol that has become increasingly linked to pro-war sentiments, these dance videos create the appearance that influential young people in Russia support the war, thereby making the war effort seem cool. Of the 3 TikTok trends, this is the most popular, with 108 such videos identified by Media Matters. Trend 3, Real Women. The third trend is a meme using a popular TikTok audio featuring the song Masquerade that was exclusively promoted by women in the videos we reviewed, seemingly to argue that Russian women should take a strong pro-war stance. Though it's heavily reliant on Russian slang that doesn't translate precisely into English, the meme can be broken into 2 parts. The first part roughly translates how basic girls pose with their fingers, as the influencers strike traditional selfie poses. The second part of the meme indicates how real women pose with their fingers, and features users making the Z with their hands. Media Matters identified 69 videos promoting this trend. Regardless of which trend these 186 influencers utilized or how they were coordinated, the end result is the same. TikTok's platform is being used to depict a glamorized version of the invasion of Ukraine and promote Russian support for it. By promoting narratives of both Russian victimization and support for the war through these influencers' posts, these trends serve a more insidious purpose of amplifying content that valorizes the Russian war effort and manufactures consent for its invasion of Ukraine.
Why a Z?
That I assume that has something to do with something that just does not translate into English particularly well, and or has something to do with the Cyrillic alphabet that we just don't understand. But that is the symbol that they are that people are associating with this, and it's been a while. It's been since like 2014, right?
I'm not gonna lie though. When I heard they're making a Z with their hands, I immediately was like, Zool.
I'm not gonna lie. When I heard that one of the trends was real women vote for the war in Ukraine, my head immediately went to real women vote for Trump. Like I inserted the vote for in there. In my head, I can hear those women singing real women vote for the war in Ukraine. And that translating into English is so inherent, the cultural knowledge that it would take to understand that when that translates into English, it's going to have a connotation from a kind of funny meme is too high. Like the bar is too high, so like obviously that like
I
sort of
just
cracks.
it always amazes me that they're co-opting language and trends and phrases from English, and specifically from like English cultural perspective, especially because half of like the whole issue they're having is that Ukraine is trending towards more cultural Western cultural ideas.
More westernized culture. Yeah.
So it just feels weird to use Western cultural memes and such.
Well, so that's the whole thing with this is one, it needed to be digestible for a Russian audience and understandable for a Russian audience, but it also needed to be digestible and understandable for an American audience, because I get the sense that a fair amount of this, because again, these were not like political commentators, these were not people that make that kind of content, was at a more general US based audience, like with a prank channel or a makeup channel, where you don't necessarily need to speak the language to appreciate the videos or subscribe to that person.
Right.
Because I know there are foreign language makeup channels in particular, they don't talk. They're not giving tutorials. They're just showing you. You have no idea what language they actually speak.
Right.
More often than not, they caption it in English. And so this is like a message. The part that's like so obviously insidious about it is that sort of integrating of as much English as they possibly could, because they knew that the audience was not just Russia. The audience is global.
Mm-hmm.
All of that being said, this shit is sloppy. It is so sloppy, and it's not what I would expect.
So
where is that tight state control that we once knew?
I mean, I think that the answer is propaganda is harder than we think it is. And it was a lot easier when there was not a social internet, because right now there are like a virtually infinite number of factions deciding on their own propaganda to push, like probably 2/3 of which are just shit posting.
Yeah, that's true. It was just a lot easier when all you had to do was make a meme out of Vladimir Putin swimming with some dolphins.
Fuck, I forgot that was from Russian misinformation accounts.
Oh yeah, the whole campaign was a thoroughly thought out propaganda effort.
It's the world we live in.
So this is from an article. The letter Z is becoming a symbol of Russia's war on Ukraine, but what does it mean? I'm just going to read you the first few paragraphs here. Messages featuring the letter Z have spread widely across social media since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Billboards have recently popped up in Russian cities featuring the letter. Stickers have appeared on cars and commercial vehicles. Russia's state-owned RT is selling T-shirts on its website in apparent support of the ongoing conflict. But the origins of the symbol remain a mystery. Prior to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the letter Z was seen painted on tanks as well as other military vehicles massing near the border. With both countries using similar tanks and trucks, it was originally thought this was meant to distinguish different units to prevent friendly fire and assist with mobilization. Some speculate that the Z could stand for Zapad, which means west in Russian. Some have snidely suggested that the Ukraine stands for other words such as zhopa, meaning ass, in a reference to stiff Ukrainian resistance. The letter does not appear in the Cyrillic alphabet used by both Russia and Ukraine.
I really read more meaning into that than it had, huh? Which is kind of cool.
We hope that the reason that the Z's are on the sides of tanks is actually because someone really liked that one zombie movie.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And that's just the whole reason for it.
Customize this. Yeah, this, but this is when I'm talking about that like tight Russian state control. Like 2016 was wild, and like the years following it, and like the fallout of like all of these things, this like interconnected web of things on all of these different social media websites were entirely Russian propaganda, getting us to do things.
Yeah. And also, like, I haven't seen any like exposés of all of the specific accounts that turned out to be Russian propaganda. But do y'all remember in the 2020 election when like tons of accounts were saying all of the same things about Elizabeth Warren that specifically the Russian propaganda accounts had been saying about Hillary.
Yeah.
That was frustrating.
Yeah. That was, and what a weird, and so I guess this is kind of like maybe 2016, 2015, that was really like the pinnacle, and we are just seeing like the downward slope from there. Because you're right, propaganda is harder than it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, I don't know that I would have let a bunch of influencers post their videos without me checking to make sure they didn't fuck up the caption.
Okay, but how are you going to do that? Because TikTok does not support like you being able to look at somebody's draft remotely.
But also, I'm wondering if that doesn't even matter as much, because the part of the caption that's wonky is in Cyrillic, which means if it is made for an American audience, they're not going to fucking know.
But does that not inform the Russian audience that this is like a copy-pasted thing?
Yeah, I mean, the question is the principal point of this propaganda campaign to like manufacture consent within Russia, or is it to create the impression for Americans that the Russian people support this war?
Right.
And the answer is, I think the goal was both of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that they did neither.
And I mean, also, like, Cecelia, I want you to just take a moment and think about what it would be like as a government trying to organize a well-executed collective action, principally carried out by 18-year-olds.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking awful. I know this is someone who's going to go teach theater. Like, it's a nightmare every second of every day just to like get children to show up in the same place at the same time, let alone like take care of important things. But they can screenshot the draft and send it to them. And like a condition of being able of posting it would be screenshot the draft, send it to us. We'll give you the okay. Someone brought up, where is it?
I'm just thinking of all of the different pages in the draft creation process that a person could screenshot and send to the handler.
Oh, I know, but there comes a point where you say, if you're too dumb to screenshot the right area, you're too dumb to put out the propaganda for us. Sorry.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem if you're strictly limiting your people you're appealing to do propaganda for you to people who are smart enough to understand what you're doing with the propaganda.
Oh yeah, but that's the whole point of all of this is that like propaganda is hard, therefore you need enough people who know what's going on in order to execute it properly instead of whatever happened here. Not that I'm like, hey, Russian government, hire me to help you do your propaganda. But I think the only people I would have pursued were those big accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Someone brought up a goddamn thing and I can't find it. Doesn't matter.
I mean, like, it's entirely possible that they only did pursue the large accounts in the hopes that it would start a trickle-down trend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that would make perfect. I get the sense that they picked these, like, big accounts to and gave them trends that were easy, like formulaic and copyable in the hopes that it would, like, astroturf. Like, people would just hop on these trends without, like, even thinking about it. The problem is there was not enough natural variation in the seed videos for people to actually, like, jump on.
It feels like Russia did not do a lot of preparing for like for the 2016 and 2020 elections. The Tumblr accounts that were outed as Russian bots had existed for like a couple years before the campaign. Like they were on deck and like building a reputation to be able to do this.
It was like well before the midterms of the second Obama administration.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were ready. They were waiting. They had them everywhere.
Because they knew the elections come up every 4 years, and like that was a thing that they knew was coming and they could plan for. This is wild speculation. I am not even a little bit qualified to do, but I kind of feel like maybe Putin didn't tell that many people in the government that what he was going to do was a war.
I also get that impression mostly from the way that like foreign dignitaries to Russia have been trying to field questions and have seemed like very ill prepared.
Like I remember hearing, and I don't have good sources on anything about this, but I remember hearing somebody say that the Russian soldiers found out that what they were doing was not a training exercise near the Ukrainian border after they were deployed in Ukraine.
Yes, I actually heard that a couple of days ago from, I believe, the New York Times and NPR podcasts separately. Of like, yeah, they're getting captured and they're just like calling their moms.
Well, also they're being sent in with like expired rations.
Yeah.
Not like they did not have any of the necessary just like fuel, tires, nothing was ready for this.
Yeah, like it feels like maybe Putin is just like extremely paranoid right now and was like, I can't tell anyone in my cabinet that or Russian equivalent of cabinet. I don't know how the Russian government is organized. I can't tell anybody, like even like my closest advisors, what's about to happen. I sure as shit can't tell the generals and the propaganda administration.
Right.
This has been like a confirmed thing. People were conscripted. The context essentially, a contract's changed overnight, and again, they're getting captured. They're calling their moms, and their moms are being like, "You're where?"
Yeah.
Which is absolutely terrifying. The whole thing is absolutely terrifying. But like the sheer amount of like, why did my coworker just send me a message at 8:27 p.m.? The sheer amount of like confusion within the Russian government itself is completely wild to me. And it's becoming more and more obvious by the day. And again, like none of us are like geopolitical experts or experts in Russia, but the experts in general seem to be saying like, this doesn't look great.
I am merely an armchair commentator.
I mean, I do have a degree in propaganda.
Don't I also technically have a degree in propaganda?
I mean, yes, we do both have journalism degrees. I was referring to my Hampshire degree where I studied propaganda.
It's true.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Anyway, all of this is to say, we kind of got lucky. Not kind of, we did get lucky that this was not more well executed.
Yeah.
Because we can sort of sit here and like armchair fiddle with this campaign and make it look better. We got lucky that it was not better and it did not take off.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Because we got lucky, I'm a little bit frightened that people are still not going to take the potential threats of bad things happening on TikTok seriously. Yeah. I have a lot of anxiety around that now. Because
TikTok has been getting lucky a lot in that regard.
Really fucking lucky.
Yeah. Like even people still are taking it seriously when like less political and more localized bad shit happens on TikTok. So even if it were to hit the fan and be out there, I don't know that people would respond in the way they realistically should.
No.
Yeah, like the thing that like it is even more the case on TikTok than other social media platforms because it's usually literally your face in the video and like you talking. But people can really fucking smell bullshit. And like nobody wants to engage with a video where they feel like they're being sold something. So like the strategy of we'll just contact a bunch of influencers and give them a script for what video we want them to make. There's no world where that works for anyone ever. If you wanted a bunch of influencers to make like pro-Russian TikToks around this event, what you would need to have been doing is working really hard on radicalizing influencers leading up to the invasion, specifically towards this point. And like that's what like effective propagandists in America do. Like that's how white supremacists work in America. Like they work really hard on specifically radicalizing influencers in order to get them to authentically and earnestly express the views that the white supremacists want them to express in ways that feel natural to their performance and that are like custom tailored to their audience.
Yeah, the alt-right pipeline is a prime example.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like fake is not a realistic strategy in propaganda anymore.
No, it's not.
And definitely not a realistic strategy in propaganda on TikTok.
I'm just hoping that I can radicalize people to hating a specific character on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's my goal.
That's it. That's fine. I believe in you. You can achieve this. So within hours, this was published, that Vice story was published maybe a few days before. Mm-hmm. Within hours of me seeing this, it was before this. The flip-flop from what happened before, which was the Biden administration inviting a bunch of American TikTokers to have a special meeting with Biden. Which, like, the wild flip-flop from us being like, okay, American government, be a little less weird about this, to, hey, Russian government, please be a little less weird about this, was very strange in the Toka Discord. Oh, God.
All governments, please just...
All governments, please.
Just stop.
The good news is, if you want to access this stuff, Taylor Lorenz was invited to the meeting, and actually she reported for the Washington Post and not the New York Times, per her usual. Right? Don't know. Anyway, I'll ask her. Just comment on one of her videos. Be like, Taylor, explain.
It's really weird to me because, like, Dave's right there. Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't it be Dave? Anyway, invite Dave to the White House 2022. But the whole meeting, at least the transcript of it, is available from the Washington Post. The influencers were not allowed to record, and were specifically told, please do not make TikToks while you are talking to Biden. Which, that's fair, I guess.
That is the White House press office doing its job.
It's like for once. Instead of allowing the Jonas Brothers to make a TikTok with Joe Biden where he says bing bong on camera because of that audio. Instead of that, they were like, please put your phones away. All of that being said, it was with I mentioned this earlier, the organization Gen Z for Change. Not everyone there was like a Gen Z TikToker. And they were, I'm not going to lie, I'm not a huge fan of the people that they picked for the most part, except for Khalil Green. Because, like, you know, Marcus DePaula was there, who did that horrendous fucking reporting around the blackout in Texas that killed people. And where he was like, I don't know, I guess they just deserve to have a shitty power grid because they live in a Republican-controlled state, so people deserve to die.
Micah, you broke up a ton.
You could have just said horrendous reporting and ended the sentence.
Not everyone has context for how bad it was. Like, that was the level of bad
Jack is ever done in any of the reporting he does, and it drives me up a fucking tree.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
He's bad at his job.
He's bad at his job, and this is his whole job, is just standing very close to his phone and talking loud and giving you headlines.
And looking a little bit like a serial killer, because no expression.
No expression whatsoever. The main takeaways of it were, this was less a like here's some state propaganda for you youths, and more like a we are relevant and cool, are we not, kids? Not even much of an acknowledgement that at that moment misinformation like was spreading on TikTok, with people like, as it was described in the first article that we brought up and that we've talked about before, people were using like audios from prior conflicts, videos from prior conflicts, not in Ukraine. It's fine.
My brain conjured up how's it going, my fellow youths?
Yeah. Yes, it's always this. The how do you do, fellow kids? Like,
the Steve Buscemi meme.
It's always that, and it was very, very clumsy. There were a couple of really great questions asked, and the administration just kind of like sidestepped them as hard as they could. The only one who was invited to this meeting that I know of that is like posted about the meeting, that argued at all, and advocated for people at all, was Khalil Green, who was also one of the youngest people there. So like, shout out to Khalil Green. He's fucking great.
There's another point that we haven't brought up in this conversation, which is that TikTok has suspended new uploads and live streaming from Russia.
Yeah.
That was on March 6th.
Yeah. I assume that TikTok perhaps had a sense of what was being uploaded.
They said it was in response to Russia's fake news law.
I'm sure it was. TikTok knows what's going on its platform. I can't imagine they didn't suddenly notice this uptick in like one particular trend from a bunch of Russian influencers.
When you say TikTok knows what's going on its platform, you said that very deadpan. Was it not a joke?
That's not a joke. Like, they're aware, because everyone we know that has ever met with them acknowledges that they seem to know what's going on. They just do not know what to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the White House basically just like, hello, how do you do, fellow kids, with the TikTokers, did not take them seriously in any real significant way, it seems. Didn't take the platform seriously, the existence of misinformation seriously, and then SNL did a skit on it, which demonstrated that like the broader cultural knowledge about TikTok is also, we don't take this seriously. And that's just going to be what everyone runs with now.
Mm-hmm. The dancing app.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy because it's this like willful ignorance of how culture works and develops. And I swear to God, it has to stem from the whole, we cannot take what the youths do seriously because they are not serious people. It's what they did to like all media basically for millennials.
Yeah.
Children, we must not give it any sense of seriousness.
And the thing that has me a little bit upset is the, there are like writers on the SNL team and a lot of reporters now that they're our age. They are millennials. They should fucking know better how much impact youth culture has on like the future of everything else. Like, we were the people that like had to wait to join Facebook because only college kids could join, and it was stupid and we were ridiculed for it. And look at what fucking happens. Like, we know better than anybody the implications of like not taking an online platform seriously. We know what they are. We know what can happen. And for some reason, everyone's like, but this is the easy narrative to fall into, and I won't have to fight my editor on it. So like, here you go. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I think there's a certain degree to which like SNL writers have to worry about, is Lauren Michaels going to tell me that I can't run this because it's too nuanced?
Get that man out of there. He's too old.
Thank you.
Too old.
Listen, I wasn't gonna say it out loud, but
He's too old to know it's funny anymore. Everything funny that's happened on SNL in the past like 20 years is at the objection of Lorne Michael.
right.
I'm just thinking of all of the like. I've seen like a few SNL writers do it. I most vividly remember the many occasions where John Mulaney has done it, but just like talk about how terrified they are of Lorne. And
Yeah.
how like the weird loyalty they have to him in a very not like a that I owe this man my life, he's very important to me way, but in a this man could have me killed if he wanted to kind of way.
Yeah.
Fully,
No, exactly.
fully, it's because Lorne Michael has the ability to end careers
Mhm.
Yeah.
with no thought on his part. Like,
Yeah, I remember what's his name? Hassan Minhaj had John Mulaney on his Netflix show, and they were doing a little bit thing afterwards where Hassan was like, I'm going to give you two options. You can either give me your phone and let me text anyone I want, anything I want, or you can answer this question. And Mulaney was like, I'm absolutely not giving you my phone. That's terrifying. So what's the question? And Hassan said, okay, so you're on a boat that's sinking. You only have time to save one person. It's Lorne Michaels or, and Mulaney said, here's my phone.
But this is like I thinking about the number of people that Lorne Michaels has just like absolutely tanked their careers because he just didn't want them to do well after. Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
The only person I know that has survived that is Jenny Slate, and the only way she did it was because of YouTube.
Yep.
Shout out to Jenny Slate. A woman I didn't know I had a crush on. It was just like, I don't know, I just find her really funny.
the constant questioning of, do I want to be her or do I want to be on her? I don't know.
The answer is always both.
Sometimes it is both. Sometimes it is both. But this is, you know, and I think the SNL skit coming out and then everybody covers that like SNL did a funny opening skit. It's like shaped the stories from that point onward.
I would love to see one of those pieces of SNL did a skit about this is where it went wrong. Here's what they got wrong. I
think a lot of people do write those and nobody likes them because they feel like buzzkills.
I don't know. I'm not here to be liked. I went to journalism school because I didn't want to be liked. All right.
I went to school for journalism because I wanted to be actively hated by a subset of the population.
By most of the population, depending on what I'm saying.
I just remembered that thing that this popped into my head like yesterday, and it's been floating around for a couple of days. Christopher Hitchens said that the reason he went into journalism was because he didn't want to have to rely on journalists to find things out.
Yo,
I love that a lot.
Distrust of journalism so strong you become one.
How else will I get information?
How else will I verify the accuracy?
Oh my god. Anyway, that's the state of geopolitics and TikTok, because apparently that's a thing we all have to worry about now.
Yes.
And here's the thing. If we're worrying about it now, it's probably a thing we had to worry about before, and we just weren't thinking that hard about it.
I mean, I think we weren't super worried about it like before because the people, the last major time that a political candidate or a political actor was fucked over by TikTok, in my recollection, is when everybody on TikTok was fucking with Trump.
That shit was so funny.
And we didn't care that it was extremely powerful and scary how powerful it was because we liked what it was doing.
I also think that some of this is because the human brain only has capacity to worry about so much at a time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've been around for the last 2 years, but there's been a lot going on.
That's fair. That is fair. I mean, I think there were a lot of something about the coverage of how COVID-19 misinformation was spreading on TikTok was just like a lot more even keel than coverage of how like Russian misinformation and misinformation about Ukraine in general has been spreading on TikTok.
Yeah, I think that's because the journalism about the COVID misinformation is mostly reporting on the press releases about the scientific studies on COVID misinformation on TikTok, because having recently done a lit review about the research on TikTok, it's only COVID misinformation.
Yep.
Like almost every bit of research that's been done about TikTok has been about how misinformation about COVID can spread on TikTok, or how to spread correct information about COVID on TikTok.
I do think that those researchers were uniquely people who do like research into medical misinformation were uniquely primed to do that, because it has been like, I don't know how many solid years, 12, 20, I don't know, of people having to constantly tamp down vaccine misinformation and deal with the spread of that. So like that.
Yeah, no, I am not criticizing that.
Well, no, I know
that's like a popular form of it's like there are good reasons for that. Like there are a lot of people who are interested in that problem. There was a lot of funding to go around for protecting people from COVID, and there were a lot of journals interested in getting those stories published quickly. So like there's a good reason why like right when everybody started getting interested in TikTok enough to want to research it, the majority of what they researched is COVID.
I wanted to provide the reason so that people wouldn't be like, it is suspicious that there was a lot of journalism about COVID-19 misinformation, because that is where the conspiratorial mind will go. And I need it to be known that there were so many factors, and Watson just listed all of them.
Yeah, no, it's not at all suspicious. It's an entirely predictable outcome of a social media platform getting very popular right at the beginning of a global pandemic. That said, I do think that like journalists have a much more even-keeled bit of source material to work with when they are doing science reporting on studies about misinformation than when they are trying to figure out how to talk about a Russian misinformation campaign that is somewhere between probably and definitely happening.
Yeah, you are right. My brain immediately went back to like, I don't know, we're just making Z's with our hands. Why Z's? Me? No. Like, I feel like that's the Russian government. Like,
the Russians don't know. No one knows.
No one knows. What is it for? It's gonna bother me for the rest of my life, isn't it? Because we're never gonna know, and it'll just be in my head every now and then. I'm like, why was it a Z?
I am sticking to someone really liked that one zombie movie, and it just accidentally spread.
I like that. It's nice.
It's just as plausible as any other explanation.
Oh, I think my audio was echoing because I was screaming.
Oh,
that's why it was echoing.
Michael, yeah, that letter exists in Cyrillic, but it is also like definitely not.
Then wouldn't
we can't stop giving the Russians ammo.
Like, this is what it looks like on the tanks or the military vehicles.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's because they really like zombie movies.
Like that is both rotated incorrectly and the wrong reflection of that character for it to be the Cyrillic letter.
Oh God. Sometimes the weight of existence is so heavy. Today does feel like one of those.
Only sometimes?
Oh, it's like all the time. It's just like a lot of the time I forget that it is that heavy.
I don't know. I felt it when I watched your video earlier today. It's like too much.
I was given 10-minute videos, and I will use it to talk about the worst things.
I feel like I don't know if you mean like I don't know if you mean like in terms of what sound that letter makes, but like graphically, I feel like the closest letter to this one is N.
Yeah.
Because then you only have to reflect it. You don't also have to rotate it.
like and don't like that the Russians are doing something just completely nonsensical, and I'm sitting here trying to make some kind of sense of it after I spent most of my afternoon just being like, you want to talk about the Omegaverse, kids?
I am genuinely upset with you for that.
The Russian propaganda apparatus just has this big, like, handwritten notebook where they've got every symbol that they know and what political idea they've tried to code it to, and there were no remaining symbols available in Cyrillic.
It's just like, it's like a cipher. Like, you have to go consult the notebook to like figure out what's going
They're
on.
flipping through the pages, and the first space where they found a symbol with an open space for the description next to it was Z.
Yeah.
And so they scribbled in support for attack on Ukraine and then took a photo of that page and texted it to people.
And then they were like, hey guys, you know that dance that already exists on TikTok? What if you just shoehorned a Z right in there? I don't actually know when it takes place within the dance either. It's probably not an organic place.
I am
Russia
not.
for sure isn't known for choreography.
I'm not familiar enough with TikTok dances to even.
Russian dancers are like a thing. Like Russian ballerinas are like a thing. Don't give me that face.
I would know because I thought you said they aren't known for their choreography, and I was sitting here like, are you waiting for me to correct you about Russian ballet so you can make some kind of joke?
No, I just said it in a sarcastic tone as a joke.
We're doing good with reading intention today.
Then they're gonna get the Bolshoi in on it. It's gonna be really, really nice. They'll do the thing where they broadcast it via the Met, so you can go see Russian ballet at the movie theaters because that's a thing you can do in New York City. It's nice.
But it's just them doing a TikTok dance that they came up with.
They're all still on point. For some reason, they're on point. They're in their full costumes, but it's just a TikTok dance, so it's only upper body, and they're just standing on point the whole time. Yeah, I want that. New York City Ballet, get on it. Let's go. That's right. We're all going to
like unproductive hyper-individualizing of the person that you're of the political figures, but also, yeah, this is funny.
He can't dance. Well, I'll start the rumor.
Make him both insecure about his height and his dancing skills. Perfect.
Exactly. Make him more insecure point by point. Eventually, it will hurt him.
True. Very true.
I just remembered the meme that was going around on Tumblr that people were pushing for when Trump was inaugurated in 2016. A bunch of people were advocating that when like during and after the inauguration, everybody just start tweeting and posting all over the internet that Trump peed a little.
Remember this.
It didn't really happen, but I wish it had because it was really funny. And like the post proposing it was like, you also know that like he's gonna feel emasculated by the idea that he only peed a little.
Right?
No, if I pissed myself during my election, it would have been a raging torrent. I mean, like, it's the same kind of thing. It's in the territory of the, like, Trump has small hands or the Cheeto Man jokes. It's not productive. It's not helpful. It draws focus toward individuals and away from the systems that those individuals participate in. But it's funny and cathartic, and it's fun to make fun of the bad man.
We just need
A little bit of bullying is fine if the person you're bullying deserves it.
There you go.
A little bit of bullying is a treat.
As a treat.
What?
I'm so tired. I'm so tired every day.
Existence is a curse. I'll never be more upset about the fact that I have to be a human in a meat suit and I can't be just a small hedgehog in the English countryside eating the crumbs in the Great British Baking Show tent.
It's
That's what I want.
I had no say. I had no say.
It
Now
doesn't.
I'm here.
I'm pretty sure that my bio on most of my platforms is no one asked me if I wanted to be human.
No one asked. I'm just. Oh, are you Googling?
What?
I thought you were. Are you Googling?
I'm Googling something. I don't think that it's
Irrelevant. All right. I think
what was it that you thought that I was about to Google?
Obama bike helmet.
Yeah, no, I was Googling the Kierkegaard quote. Why was I not consulted? Or who am I? How came I here? What is this thing called the world? What does the world mean? Who is it that has lured me into the world? Why was I not consulted? Why was I not made acquainted with its manners and customs instead of throwing me into the ranks as if I had been brought by a kidnapper, a dealer in souls?
What are you Googling? Not Obama bike helmet? No, Kierkegaard, of course.
This particular Kierkegaard quote that I would like to read for you now. You stole it.
My philosophy teacher at Northern Essex had a poster of that quote on her wall in her office. How
Meanwhile,
came I into this world? Why was I not consulted?
I love that, especially considering the only thing I remember on any of my professors' offices was the head of the journalism department had a giant, oh my god, my whole brain just shut off. The dude from Baywatch,
Wait,
the one that's real popular in Germany.
David Hasselhoff?
Yeah, she had a giant cutout of David Hasselhoff that someone stole from a 7-Eleven and put in her office, and she just never moved it. So we were all under the watchful eye of David Hasselhoff in the journalism department.
That's good. That's good. What about this image? Were they mad that he's practicing basic bike safety?
Let the man ride his bike.
He just wants to go on a little bike ride. What were they mad about? I don't.
The contrast is that like Putin on a horse is propaganda using the idea of riding a horse as propaganda to promote Putin, whereas Obama with a bike helmet is using the idea of the president to promote bike safety. Like one of them is like using the propaganda to try and strengthen the office. The other is leveraging the office to create propaganda.
One of these things is not like the
Okay. All right. Fox being mad that he wasn't shirtless on a horse and a strong leader like Putin. They were like, oh, look at this man simply having a nice time.
So it was an unfavorable comparison suggesting that Putin was a better leader than Obama.
I didn't realize that sexualizing the president was a necessity in order to show strength.
You didn't? What did you think that Republicans did?
Man,
No.
that's it. My brain's off.
I want to be done now.
My brain's off for the
Like
night.
this is why people become Republicans. Like that's why Roy Cohn wasn't gay.
No. Leave that hyper-specific knowledge of angels in America out of this. Right? Leave it out.
Just stop hurting me. Just stop.
Oh God. Okay.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, you can support us. And even if you didn't enjoy this, support us so we can do other stuff.
Jesus
Support us
Christ.
on patreon.com/Toka, where we have support tiers based on your level of income. Your support helps us do this, but also like actual research on the platform. And it helps us have guests on the panel, on the
This thing we're on right now.
I said panel And then I was like, no, panel's the wrong word. But then my brain was still on P, so the only other word I could think of was podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's wrong. And the fact that it's wrong is taking up too much space in my brain to figure out the right word.
Welcome to the Toka podcast. It is available absolutely fucking nowhere, but
Anyway, on Monday, we're having Morgan Ray CWC on to talk about the Toka brand package. We're just going to hang out and work on the brand presentation and chat, but Morgan has experience developing brand packages for brands, so figured they were a good person to have on as a guest for that stream. That is everything. I am going to end the stream on the Toka TikTok account before I end it on here, because Micah likes to do this mean joke where right after we end the stream here, she says, now that we're offline, and I have a heart attack.
Why would you take our favorite joke from us?
Thank you all for coming. Good night.
Good night.